Welcome to the Effective Academic Writing tutorial. The first thing we're going to talk about is structure. So really the take-home message of this tutorial is order your paragraphs. You want to make sure that you have an introduction, the body of your text, and the conclusion. This seems simple, but in my work as a tutor and as an academic editor, I often see even pretty experienced writers not respect this basic flow of information, of putting the right sentences in the right place. So all points concerning a same issue should go into the same paragraph unless that paragraph gets too long, and in that case you can break it up. There's no one way to structure your work, but there are, for any given issue, probably between 1 and 3 good ways of structuring things and several less good ways of structuring them. So let's talk about a trick. One thing you can do to make sure that you get this flow right is to write your paper, print it out, and then cut it out and rearrange sentences and paragraphs until you find the order that makes the most sense. So this is literally cutting and pasting. And the advantage here is that you get to be able to see the full paper and physically play with it, and this gives the best results. Now, I know that we don't really like to do this anymore because we like to do everything on the computer, but if you're struggling with the structure of your paper, print it out, cut it up, and basically treat it as a puzzle. Make the right sentences go in the right place. One point that I really like to emphasize when I do these tutorials is why we do this. So why do we emphasize structure so much? What makes it so important? The answer is really that human beings are pattern processors, and we need information to be presented within a cohesive structure to be able to make sense of it. The really disappointing thing is when you have a lot of good points and good information, but the lack of structure, the lack of a nice cohesive flow to a paper makes that information almost impossible for a reader to assimilate or understand. To recap, and in short, you need to have your basic flow and structure, an intro, body, and a conclusion, and try to make sure that your paper tells a story. So that is really the best way to ensure that all the pieces of evidence and all the arguments are presented coherently and cohesively. Gives it a logical flow.